Your #1 first place overall goes to Karma by Jojo Siwa with an astonishing, record-breaking 3.1 million dislikes.
Jojo Siwa, once adored across America for her oversized, playful bows, has now reinvented herself as a rebellious young star. Parents disapprove, while the internet floods her music with endless dislikes. The media has branded Jojo Siwa's evolution as nothing short of a cultural shock. From drinking on stage to accusations of exploiting the LGBTQ+ community and even faking a pregnancy, a series of controversies has reshaped her into one of today's most polarizing figures. Her once beloved image has been stripped away, leaving many Americans questioning how the pink-bowed JoJo from their childhood memories disappeared. If you still remember that version of her, consider yourself lucky. But the sweetness of that memory now feels tainted by the person she's become. I can't help but wonder how many stages of JoJo's growth I missed, only to now see her latest videos and barely recognize the bright girl with the pink bow. Jojo Siwa's journey into adulthood hasn't been long, but it's been filled with jarring twists that left audiences struggling to reconcile her past with her present. Born on May 19, 2003, in Omaha, Nebraska, JoJo first captured attention on the reality TV show Dance Moms, appearing alongside her mother, Jocelyn Siwa. Her energy and charisma quickly caught Nickelodeon's eye, leading to a branding deal that launched her name into households nationwide. By 14, JoJo had already made history. Her music video, Boomerang, crossed 1 billion views on YouTube. The track, which tackled teen bullying, carried a defiant message. No matter how many times you push me away, I'll always come back stronger. In that video, JoJo embodied the classic teen role model: oversized bow, dazzling smile, and a feminine charm that resonated deeply with young fans worldwide. She became a symbol of positivity, confidence, and the courage to stand out. Across YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, she radiated color and energy. But as she entered adulthood, things began to shift. JoJo embraced a bolder, more eccentric persona. Her style, speech, and outrageous antics marked a sharp contrast to her earlier self. Audiences began to label her weird, bizarre, or over the top. From the sweet, sparkling teen to a rebellious rock star, JoJo's transformation has left many fans feeling alienated. Critics argue that her new image strays too far from the uplifting spirit she once represented. Despite the criticism, Jojo Siwa remains unapologetic, boldly embracing her evolution and proudly declaring her reinvention as something the world has never seen before. In her own words, "There's never really been an influencer child star turned into a musician adult star. There's been similar, but never someone who was truly themselves making this boom-jump transition into also themselves. You know what I mean?" But instead of applause, this declaration sparked immediate backlash. Fans were quick to point out that JoJo wasn't the first young star to undergo such a transformation. Icons like Miley Cyrus and Britney Spears had already walked this road, navigating the leap from child sensation to controversial adult artist. The controversy only deepened when JoJo, in an interview with Billboard, announced her ambition to pioneer a brand new music genre she called gay pop. "The day I first signed with Columbia, I said, I want to start a new genre of music. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's called gay pop. And they were like, what's that? And I was like, it's like K-pop, right? But it's gay pop." Her words ignited a firestorm. Critics accused her of dismissing the legacy of LGBTQ+ icons who had long carried that torch. Artists like Lady Gaga and Lil Nas X. To many, JoJo's statement either showed disrespect for the pioneers who came before her or revealed a startling ignorance about the very culture she claimed to represent. Gone was the approachable, cheerful teen idol. In her place stood a bold, rebellious, and provocative figure. Nowhere was this more obvious than in her 2024 music video, Karma. The video was JoJo's loudest declaration yet, a complete image overhaul, dripping with defiance. And while it certainly grabbed attention, it wasn't the kind JoJo might have hoped for. Instead of praise, Karma racked up millions of dislikes and tens of thousands of scathing comments. Today, it stands as one of the most disliked music videos by a female artist in 2024. A staggering 3.1 million dislikes. To put that into perspective, even Taylor Swift's Fortnite video, with all its criticism, sits at just 350,000. Yet in the face of this brutal backlash, JoJo seems unfazed. In fact, she treats it almost like a victory. And your number one, first place overall goes to Karma by Jojo Siwa, with an astonishing, record-breaking 3.1 million dislikes. Is Jojo Siwa okay? A music project she poured her heart into gets slammed with a tidal wave of dislikes, yet its creator celebrates as if she's just won an Oscar. That hardly seems like the mindset of a typical artist. And it makes me wonder, are these JoJo's genuine emotions? Or just a performance for the cameras? A kind of toxic positivity where she can't admit her true feelings? Many of her former fans, especially parents, are disheartened. They feel Siwa's new image no longer suits the young audience who once adored her wholesome persona. JoJo has gone from being a role model for kids to a symbol of rebellion, exactly the kind of influence parents want their children to steer. Clear of one viewer summed it up perfectly. Honestly, I don't get what she's doing. It's been a while, but I clicked on a Jojo Siwa video and I was just speechless. I'm not exaggerating. Everyone hates it. I haven't seen this much negativity around something in ages. Other comments drip with sarcasm. JoJo, your album saved me. I couldn't get out of bed my whole life, but when your song came on the radio, I had to get up, to turn it off. Amid the mounting criticism of her image overhaul, JoJo now faces unprecedented public pressure in this chapter of her adulthood. Yet instead of responding with humility, or even self-reflection, she seems to double down. Brutal, brutal. The internet has gotten very mad at me. The internet has taken me through the freaking ringer, the ups and the downs. But at the end of the day, I made the art that I wanted to. And I am so happy, so proud, so excited to bring this version of pop music back. But here's the kicker. JoJo didn't even write a single word of the song. Not one. It was entirely someone else's work. So how can she act proud, as if she created it? She just took the song and branded it as gay music. One online commenter put it bluntly. The truth is, JoJo has tarnished her reputation so much lately that people aren't even willing to give her music a fair shot. Every track she's dropped in the past 4 months has been drowned in criticism. Almost every song racks up more dislikes than likes. That's why it's so bizarre that she celebrates her failures. 3.1 million dislikes. And she brags, I'm the only one who can say I beat Taylor Swift on some list. But that's not something to boast about. So I can't help but wonder, how did such a charming, spirited girl end up like this? Did fame come too early, leaving JoJo without the guidance she desperately needed? Even JoJo herself seems uncertain about who she really is, from her gender identity to her relationships. Publicly coming out as a lesbian, then dating a man, and worst of all, faking a pregnancy. Back in 2021, Jojo Siwa came out as part of the LGBTQ+ community, becoming one of the youngest public figures to represent it. She proudly showcased her identity, waving the rainbow flag during performances and on national television. She said she wanted to inspire young people, especially those struggling to embrace who they are. Her openly queer relationships, shared widely on social media, earned her huge support from the LGBTQ+ community. But the story doesn't end there. On the reality show Big Brother, in front of millions of live viewers, JoJo and Chris Hughes A man sharing the house with her began to show signs of attraction, stolen glances, subtle touches, intimate words. Then Jojo openly pursued a romance with him. Right there, in front of everyone, including her Australian girlfriend, Kath. The backlash was fierce, and it wasn't just about her public betrayal. It was fueled even more by Jojo's controversial statement. I think I've always told myself, I'm a lesbian, but I think being here I've realized, oh no, I'm not a lesbian. Such inconsistent and irresponsible words from someone who once championed the LGBTQ+ community. It's clear that Jojo gained massive support when she came out. Fans cheered, the queer community embraced her, and now she treats it as if it was all a mistake. But recently, Jojo left her audience stunned once again. Not with a statement this time, but with a cover of the classic Bette Davis eyes. And while her vocals were ridiculed as quack-like, it was her appearance that stole the show. A string of pearls draped around her neck, bold red lips, sleek 1950s-style hair, and a soft, feminine gaze that shocked everyone. Gone were the oversized bow, the neon colors, the wild rock star energy. Instead, Jojo unveiled a version of herself no one expected. Traditional, gentle, the polar opposite of everything she'd been. But was this a genuine transformation? Or just another costume in her ongoing quest to redefine herself? For longtime fans who once celebrated her fearless, unapologetic queerness, the sudden shift was disorienting. Because alongside the new look came another revelation. Jojo announced she no longer identifies as a lesbian. And just like that, the wild Jojo, with her electrifying dance moves, rainbow aesthetic, and rebellious spirit, seems to have closed that chapter. In just a few short months, the girl who once stood for gender freedom and unapologetic youth has packed it all away and veered onto an entirely new path. Behind the whirlwind of headlines lies a costly lesson about growing up in the spotlight. From a vibrant, rainbow-colored child star, Jojo stepped into adulthood determined to reinvent herself. Bold, unconventional, rebellious, but her transformation was so abrupt it left the public reeling. Insensitive actions, defensive responses, and a constant knack for using controversy as fuel to stay in the headlines. The inspiration she once sparked has dimmed. Her music, forgotten, social media, now her main stage. What she sells isn't songs, but reinventions, provocative images, jaw-dropping shifts no one sees coming. Instead of asking, what's Jojo's new song like? People now wonder, what's she done this time? And that reveals a hard truth. Building an image is tough, but keeping the audience's trust is even tougher. Because once an artist loses the foundation of public faith, they may still be famous. But not for their talent, only for their antics. Jojo Siwa might still be searching for her true self, but amid all the scandals, the question remains, are audiences still willing to listen? If it were you, would you still want to hear Jojo's story? All from celeb gossip.